Opposition spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, says the government's budgetary allocations are insufficient to tackle the deepening economic and social fallout caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. He voiced his arguments in his submission to the 2021-2022 budget debates in Gordon House this week. Mr. Robinson says the prices of basic foods have increased since 2016. He points to a recent United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund and Caribbean Policy Research Institute study showing that Jamaicans have had to cut back on food, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic.
The cost of saltfish, cooking oil, chicken back, and rice, as examples, have increased by over 100%. And Madam Speaker, I want to show you what we mean by the food insecurity. Prime Minister never bring the basket. Never bring the basket. But I want to show you the price increases. Chicken back, $60 in 2016 is now $140, an increase of 133%. Cooking oil, $85 in 2016 is now $220, an increase of 158%. Tin mackerel has moved from $55 to $100, an increase of 81%. Rice has gone up from $31 per pound to $62 per pound, an increase of 100%. And sugar has gone up from $55 per pound to $121, an increase of 120%.
He notes the government's move to allocate funds to support the most vulnerable and says what is being proposed is inadequate.
People matter, Madam Speaker, and good policy must have people's interests at the heart of it.
The opposition spokesman speaks of the strain on the health system due to the COVID-19 pandemic and addresses the plight of healthcare workers.
The daily reports of COVID cases, coupled with the stories of our brothers and sisters being turned away or passing away in hospital that are under-resourced, are heartbreaking and increase anxiety. Our healthcare workers are giving their all, but they need support. Our hospitals need more resources. This situation was not caused by COVID. However, Madam Speaker, since COVID, the reality is that health poverty and health insecurity in Jamaica have worsened. I want to use this opportunity on behalf of the opposition to thank our doctors, our nurses, and all the healthcare professionals on the front line who continue to go beyond the call of duty to serve the public. And when we speak about healthcare professionals, we immediately think of the doctors and the nurses. But I also want to recognize the unsung heroes. They are the orderlies, the janitors, the lab techs, the pharmacists, all of these professionals who make up this ecosystem.
Mr. Robinson says the country will see the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic for years to come, particularly in the education of our next generation.
The effects of the pandemic will last for a long time to come, given the number of children who are unable to access online education. And particularly in the rural areas, the percentages of students who can't access are extremely high, sometimes up to 80%. This issue must become a priority. If not, poverty will become even more chronic.
The debate resumes next Tuesday at Gordon House with opposition leader Mark Golding.